laugh.
It's time once again for another episode of the Franchise Business Radio Show. Broadcasting live from the Pro Business Channel studios in Atlanta. And now here's your host, Pam Curie.
Welcome to the Franchise Business Radio Show. This is your host, Pamela Curry. And once again, we are doing another spotlight here on Franchise Business Radio and bringing franchise professionals in the studio to not only share their story around the business concept that they're involved in, but to actually share a story that's even near and dear to many of our hearts. And we're going to dive into that in a minute here. But before we do, I do want to go ahead and introduce my number one guest in the studio. Charlotte, please introduce yourself and let us know who you are here representing.
Hi, thank you all so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. My name is Charlotte Hagler, and I am here representing Zaxbys Restaurants and Rally Foundation and Rally Idol, an event coming up very soon that we are very passionate about. So I'm excited to be here to share this with everyone.
And I share in your passion here, and we'll keep our guest in a little bit. That's our teaser, right, for those who are out there listening to us. Before we dive into this big special event that is coming up, let's pretend like no one knows who Zaxby's is, right? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty confident that most of our listeners do, but what is Zaxby's?
Oh, wow. What isn't Zaxby's? It's everything. Zaxby's is a wonderful restaurant that is actually out of Georgia, started in Statesboro, and about 26 plus years ago.
Wow.
By two childhood friends from Athens, Georgia, that started together. Zach McElroy and Tony Townley, wonderful men. Mm-hmm. And they began the business in college towns and grew it from there, and did its over 800 locations in 16 states. So super excited how the growth has gone, diligently, slowly. Wonderful leadership, and out of Athens, Georgia now.
Yeah, and I was just reading up on this, and just to let you know, it's my understanding that Zaxby has grown to more than 800 locations in 16 states.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
To Zaxby's and the founders. That's a huge accomplishment. Yeah. And obviously you and your business partners are a big contributor to that growth. Tell us a little bit about your role within Zaxby's.
Yeah, well, I hope we are. I'm a licensee here locally in Alpharetta. My brother and I are business partners. And we also have some stores in Louisville, Kentucky that we partnered with another licensee that was already there and who approached us for further growth and an opportunity to grow in a wonderful city of Louisville, Kentucky, which has been a real blessing as well.
Well, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, so...
And I love Cincinnati. Boy, we almost went there as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Right there on the river. Yes. And Louisville, Kentucky is...
right there near it.
Got to hit the Derby.
You do.
Well, so speaking of that, so you have a couple stores up in Alpharetta. Is that correct? And then you said you have five. Is it 5 stores in Louisville?
5 stores at this time in Louisville, correct?
Kentucky. And we were kind of laughing here in the studio earlier. We have a mutual friend that is also a Zaxby's franchisee. Should we do a shout out to him?
To Derek, absolutely,
Mr. Derek.
Wonderful guy, wonderful franchisee as well.
Absolutely.
We started about the same time, so we've gotten to know each other for about 11 years in the system.
Wow. Okay, well, that says something. And so, Derek, we're giving a shout-out to you. If you're out there listening to us, we just wanted to let you know you're not going forgotten. We know that you've been a huge contributor to the growth of Zaxby's.
Yes, he has.
And it's been obviously very successful for multiple reasons and to quality franchisees like yourself and Charlotte. So shout-out to you there, Derek. Well, a little bit before we dive into more about the event, and I do want to say, even though I know everyone knows what Zaxby's is, it is definitely an incredible restaurant to go to. Obviously, you probably recognize them, but they're really known for their great chicken, that fun atmosphere that you can really get into. They got the delicious chicken fingers, wings, sandwiches, salads, and a fun, upbeat atmosphere. And obviously I am a consumer and customer of Zaxby's.
And we thank you.
Absolutely. So prior to becoming a franchisee or licensee with Zaxby's, you did have a previous career in life. Tell us your story there, Charlotte.
Yes, that's right, Pam. I grew up here in Atlanta. I was born here, and then I went to a nursing school away, came back, and I was a nurse at mostly at that time at St. Joseph's Hospital. And so I have a real passion for helping others in the medical field and being involved in that world. It was a wonderful career, and I tried to do both for a little while when we first started Zaxby's, and it was a little too much. I met a dear friend who's a dear friend now through some other ladies in Atlanta at church that was a licensee with Zaxby's in North Carolina, and she started telling me about her business, and I was discussing it with my brother, and through a lot of discussion and soul searching and prayer, we dove into researching being a licensee with Zaxby's very early on, about 2004.
Okay.
It's been quite a while back, and it was a good process working with corporate and getting into it, but I always still have a passion for nursing and for patients and for, we'll talk more a little bit later specifically with children. So that's a little my history prior to Zaxby's, and then really in the Zaxby's world, our mission is consistently create encore experiences that enrich lives one person at a time. And that speaks to so many industries, and not just serving chicken, but serving your community. And chicken's just our avenue for that.
Amen to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fully agree. And speaking about serving your community and, really giving back and, hitting on something that is near and dear to your heart as well as many, it's my understanding that you have a big event coming up.
We do.
This month.
Super excited. I want everyone in the Atlanta area to come out.
Would you like to announce it, or do you want me to?
You can.
You want me to? All right.
Your voice is more exciting.
Well, Zaxby's, and specifically Charlotte here in Atlanta, has been named presenting sponsor for what's called Rally Idol 2. And this is hosted by the Rally Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research. Again, something very near and dear to all of our hearts. And the Rally Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research not only has announced that Zaxby's will be presenting the sponsor of Rally Idol 2, which obviously that means there was a 1, and now we're having a 2. And that event is happening this month on January 28th. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, very, very exciting. I was fortunate enough to attend Rally Idol 1 a couple of years ago. A wonderful family here that I grew up with has started this event. The two daughters who have a passion for giving back with the Roach family started this, and it was so much fun. I had another licensees group was involved. And they reached out to me and said, you must come to this. It's friends of yours and mine as well. So it was a fun evening of these adorable children, up to the age of maybe 17 as well. Maybe 6 of them were on stage doing like American Idol, singing and being judged. And there were the American Idol judges literally were up there, not past American Idol.
Sure.
Were the judges. And it was so exciting. There's a wonderful silent auction. Tons of children there from the schools in Atlanta supporting these children who have cancer. So the Rally children that are on stage have either been fighting cancer or in remission or currently fighting it. And they are just talented kids that have a passion for music and the arts, and they were able to showcase themselves and have fun and just take a little moment out of life with cancer.
Absolutely.
To have a good time, yeah.
Absolutely. So, a couple things.
And they raised $60,000 that night.
Woohoo!
So
applause on that front.
Yeah.
That is, woohoo!
That's something,
very,
I'll tell you.
big applause there. Congratulations.
Yes, to them.
And let me just ask you this. Well, I'm assuming there's no Simon here on the panel, right?
These are lovely judges. There is no Simon.
Okay, good.
And when you vote through the evening for your contestant, the money is actually there's money going to the research every time you get on your smartphone and vote. So that's really fun. So it's very interactive for everyone.
Very interactive.
And I love that part of it.
Do you have to be there live for the event, or is it actually being televised?
There is going to be some filming, and it's going to be on TV on a specific station, but it is not live at the moment.
Okay.
So you need to be at the event.
Live. Much
voting and supporting the kids and supporting the foundation and the research.
And if someone wanted to attend, how would they go about attending? Is there a cost associated with it?
Very minimal cost. It's $20 a ticket. And if you're bringing your whole family, which would be perfect, it's only $80. So bring 10 of you and your family. And very reasonable cost, which the money is going to the research. So this is all volunteer-based, which is so exciting as well. And the band that backs them up is just a really cool band from Atlanta. I think really talented guys that have donated their time to this, which is neat too.
Well, that would be a great family event.
Yes.
Absolutely. B, I like to Zaxbys was founded in Athens, right?
Athens. They're in Athens now.
Right?
Yeah, music hub, absolutely.
Kind of things.
Right.
And not only a fun, and what a lively event. This isn't where you're just sitting back watching someone speak about a cause.
Correct.
This is where you actually get to see those that are living the experience.
That's right. That are affected by cancer to be up there and just have a great time and still raise money as well.
So are you going to get on stage?
Oh, absolutely not. No one wants me on stage. Let's showcase the children, not me.
Fair enough. I totally understand. So, I'm just kind of curious. Raleigh Foundation for Childhood Cancer, how did you get connected to them?
Yes. Years ago, a mother whose child went through cancer started the foundation.
Okay, that's
and it has become nationwide with offices in different cities, which is great. They are focused. They have many children here in Georgia that are what you would call Raleigh children because of children's health care being here in this area. And so many families move to the area because of treatment and because of the need to be so close by. And so the foundation office is just around the corner from the hospital right there near Northside and the hospital. Again, I was introduced to Raleigh Foundation through Raleigh Idol, and I think many people were introduced to this foundation through Raleigh Idol 1 several years ago.
Okay.
And the area, and not really realizing it was there because of this wonderful family, the Roach family that started Raleigh Idol 1, when they wanted to give back and be a part of the community, raising their 2 girls just to be, children of servant hearts, which is really sweet. And so I learned about it through that family and then got to know the people at Raleigh Foundation that do so much more than just Raleigh Idol the evening of. This is just one event, and many they do to raise funds for specifically childhood cancer research. So it's very directed to research, which there's not enough of that money going towards the children's research.
Right, and I really do like that because, we've got a problem. Let's research and figure out, how we can fix it.
That's right. And other money is good to go other directions as well. But, if we can get down to the research part and stop this, what a blessing that would be.
Oh, yeah. And I think on some level cancer has impacted all of us, whether it be a friend of a friend, a relative, and those types of things. And just to give you a little story, I guess, about my background with childhood cancer, I have had it's near and dear to my heart, not just from not personal experience. I'm thankful for that, but just from a volunteer standpoint. I actually, there is another nonprofit organization out there called Lighthouse. And are you familiar with that?
Lighthouse. Oh, they do wonderful things.
They really do. Now, their purpose is different. And as you said, there's a need for all different areas. But as you know, you know about Lighthouse. And so, I did some volunteer. It's where, basically it's giving you the opportunity to allow the family that has cancer, their child has cancer, come away on a vacation and just escape, like you're talking about here, right? An opportunity not just to have the cancer be so all-consuming, and give the opportunity to escape, have some fun. And
I've heard so many wonderful things about Lighthouse. Yes. You really love on the families and
That's right.
help them get away.
You really love on the families, help them get away. And there's a fellowship. There's something about coming together with those that are going through the same experience. And so that's fun.
sweet.
Yeah. In addition to that, I also did leukemia team and training.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Good for you.
Yeah, that you are, well, I admittedly so. That was over 10 years ago. However,
Still, you did it.
That's right, and it was a good cause. Raised a lot of money, and
Did
I
you do the
had,
Atlanta race?
believe it or no, it was this is going to date me. I'm almost embarrassed. It was the inaugural San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But when you're running 26.2 miles, it all becomes quite a blur. But it was the inaugural.
You have to remember why you're doing it.
Yeah. So that was back in, I think it was 1999.
Oh, that was just yesterday.
Just yesterday. Yeah, right. Exactly. Matter of fact, for those of my friends that are out there listening, I'm going to give a shout out to you because I was taking a walk down memory lane on that particular day and found a picture of a friend and I who did that race together. And unbeknownst to us, we had purchased matching running shorts. And back in those days, we're talking about running shorts that were very vibrant. That would be a good word.
I don't know they're much better today.
After the show, I'm going to show you a picture because we were laughing about it literally on text yesterday. So it's all coming full circle. It really is. Great. So let's get back to obviously Rally Idol 2. Where is it taking place?
It will be at the Buckhead Theater.
Okay.
Right there at where Roswell Road and Peachtree come together.
All right, just around the corner from the studio.
Just around the corner on the 28th. Great venue for it. There were over 800 people at the Rally Idol 1, expecting much more even this year. So it would just be fun family time right there in an easy to get to area.
Okay, so obviously
on a
centrally
Saturday.
located, easy to get to. If someone wanted to get tickets, they should simply visit rallyidol.org. So that's RALLYIDOL.org for those of you that can't spell like me. If you're following me on Facebook, you'll understand what I mean there. And you could also follow, it's at Rally Idol on Facebook and Twitter, too.
Correct. So it'd be great to get on there and repost and keep that moving on social media. We have another event coming up, actually, with this.
Do tell.
This Tuesday evening.
Okay.
There are many locations that are in the Atlanta, what we call the Atlanta Co-op, that can go all the way out to Dalton, Rome, Athens, that are supporting a pre-party for Rally Idol. It'll be Tuesday evening, and there are many locations in the area. People can go to a Zaxbys and eat dinner to support the Rally Foundation, which is it's supporting the partnership, and there will be a Rally child there that is going through the fight with cancer to just really, again, love on them and support that child and that family. So we have one in the Snellville area.
Okay.
In Smyrna, Kennesaw. We have one at our store in Alpharetta. We have one right here in Buckhead on Roswell Road. People can go there Tuesday night from 5 to 8, and then in Jackson, Georgia.
Okay. Wow, that is a lot. So at those 5 locations,
Tuesday, January 17th.
January 17th.
From 5 to 8.
From 5 to 8. If you go in and have dinner, you will not only have the opportunity to possibly meet one of the children that are fighting cancer.
Correct.
But obviously, by enjoying good food, you're giving.
Yes, and it's a fun evening with giveaways from Rally Foundation and also from Zaxbys, who's doing lots of fun swag to bring home.
The swag. I like the
and
swag.
I'm sure the chicken will be out at several locations.
A lot
taking
of fun.
pictures with the children. So it's a wonderful evening to support the pre-party for Rally Idol 2 as well.
Okay, so we've got a pre-party. We've got Rally Idol 2.
Yeah.
Have we thought about the post-party yet?
Oh, let's get it started. Let's plan it today.
I think we're having a pre-party right now.
That's right.
Here in the
Where's
studio.
the chicken?
Yeah, where are the samples? I'm going to have to hit you up for some coupons or something.
Absolutely. I got them for you.
Okay, fair enough.
And we'll see if Derek has some for you.
Fair enough. So I know that the first Rally Idol, it did sell out, like you said, with an event with over 800 in attendance. and raised $60,000. And it's my understanding that do you know of any quotas or goals with Rally Idol too?
I don't know if they do, but my goal is to obviously double that.
Oh, I love it.
And keep going over and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is a cap you can put on that. Just the more support, even after the evening of, just continuing on with the Rally Foundation and supporting that in general. And this can just be a kickoff to people knowing more about the foundation. It's so involved in the Georgia area, and so it affects so many of us that live here and the children that live here. So I would say it's twofold: the evening of, and then let's support it going forward. And it's so many in Zaxby's didn't know about Rally Foundation until we were able to bring this to the table to the licensees in the Atlanta Co-op, and they were generous enough to say, yes, let's support this foundation, let's support this event, because so many people are in need, and other foundations and nonprofits, like you said, that are that pull on everyone's heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm thankful that our co-op in the Atlanta area jumped on board with this event and this foundation. We have some great franchisees that are just really guest-focused and community-focused that want to give back. And so they're giving back to those children in their area.
Really like that. And you, Charlotte, you're hitting on a couple of things here. Yeah, absolutely, right? We have these fun events that are going on. But even greater than that, if you cannot attend these events, there are so many different ways that you can support. Even if it's as simple as paying it forward, spreading the word, getting awareness out there regarding the Rally Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research.
Yes.
Right? So we understand not all of us can get away. Some of us don't even have $20 or $80 to give. And
that's right.
That's okay, too. There's so many ways that you can give. We all have handles. Get on Twitter, right? Get on Facebook. At rallyidol.com. Spread the word.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pam.
So
That's
much
awesome.
to be shared there. And I am obviously very passionate about what you're doing here in this cause. Can we give some website and social media links for our listeners and for those that do want to, at a minimum, spread the word? I am seeing here, we've got www.rallyfoundation.org. That obviously is the main site, www.rallyfoundation.org. But there's also a specific site for Rally Idol. Would you like to give that?
Yes. So it would be at Rally Idol. You can do that on Facebook or Twitter. So at RALLYIDOL. And that would be awesome if people can go on there and share, repost. And again, if you are unable to attend or unable to give funds, there are, like you said, so many things that we can do as a community to support each other, and sharing those networks with your family, your friends. And it's wonderful for the children to understand that they have others in their community, children that are fighting for they're fighting cancer, and they might not be able to put themselves in that position. They're too young to understand that. But this is a great time to start learning that, giving back, and helping those that may be going to their school and they don't know that they're fighting for it, these middle schoolers or teenagers.
You know what? You just made me think of something there too, Charlotte. We could go on and on, right?
Yes.
I think one of the deceiving things about childhood cancer is sometimes it physically shows and sometimes it does not.
That's right.
And so you can be looking at this beautiful child and think, oh, they look so healthy and happy.
Yes.
And little do you know they're in the middle of a battle.
They are.
Right.
Their whole family is in the middle of that battle with them. And so it's a great opportunity for families to share with their children how to give back to those that are going through something they can't understand.
Yep, understand. And another important thing, I think, and I really learned this honestly from Lighthouse, so I don't want to pretend like I have some incredible insider intuition here, because it's definitely been learned through experiences. And that's why it's so great to go to these kind of events and experiences, because you learn. And one of the things that I learned was it's not only the child that is battling the cancer, but it impacts the whole family.
Yes. The extended family, beyond just the people in the house. That's right.
We are in a relational world.
Right.
So, so making sure that child doesn't feel like they are isolated on an island, because they're not.
Yeah.
a community of fellowship to help and support.
That's right. It's very important.
Good. Well, I am, is there anything else that you would like to add? Maybe anything I haven't asked you that I should have?
Oh, no, you've done wonderful. I want to thank the Zaxbys family and all of the licensees that have so generously considered and decided to support Rally and Rally Idol too in that evening. And also Rally, who came to us and said, would you like to be a part of this? That's an honor. Because there are so many wonderful businesses in Atlanta that could be supporting this, and then they chose us. So that was very exciting. And Zaxby's is so family-friendly, and we love the children. And one of our 4 core values is guest-focused, and this is just another way to be guest-focused. Beyond just serving chicken at the moment.
We like chicken,
Yes,
but there's bigger purpose out there. And on that note, since you are, just recognizing those, I know you had mentioned that the founder, and I just kind of want to, Rally Idol 2 is the vision of a 13-year-old Courtney Roach and her older sister Emily.
Yes, isn't that neat?
Yes, and you know what I think is so neat about that, Charlotte, is we can take something that that is so horrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think, oh my gosh, I mean that's a nightmare come true for a parent, a child, and so horrific. And how do we turn that around and basically say we're going to do better good here. Yeah. We're going to have God come in, and we're going to take this situation, which could be horrible, and we're going to say, you know what? We're going to do God's work here.
Yes.
And we're going to make it bigger and better.
Absolutely. And what wonderful hearts these girls have to put their and the whole family, the parents as well, putting their time and energy into this, into loving the children and raising the money for them to find a cure.
Yes.
So it's really sweet that their love for music. So they've used the family love for music to bring about this exciting event of Rally Idol 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say thank you, Courtney Roach and Emily, for taking what could
big
be
shout out to these two darling girls.
Yes. Amen. Can we get a shout out for them, Rich?
We got it ready. Yeah. I do have a couple of quick questions if we have time. Yeah.
Well, somehow I thought you would.
Yeah. And, listening and doing some social media on Periscope and on Twitter and so forth. And but you mentioned earlier the silent auction. Is that happening this year as well, or?
I believe so. I don't want to speak that it definitely is, but I know there were some exciting things to bid on in the last one.
Well, the reason I was mentioning, we'll have this in our show notes as well, but if there is a silent auction happening at this event, being on the Pro Business channel to our business listeners out there, that's a great opportunity. You mentioned maybe certain people can't contribute, cash per se, but that can transform into funding, right? Because if they donate,
that would be wonderful. Yes,
some of their offerings or their what they have to offer in terms of product or merchandise or services as a business, right?
That would be wonderful, and that could showcase their business and promote themselves at the same time.
So if there's not a silent auction, now there is.
That's right. I will start it.
We just created it here in the studio.
We're going to make it a loud auction.
We now have a silent auction.
It's no longer silent anymore, Now it's
so please, any businesses that are listening, contact Rally Idol Foundation, and they will be absolutely happy to get you in that silent auction we just started.
Yeah, exactly. And then along that line, I know it's I'm just acting on a prompting here, so we'll have to actually check with the powers that be. But we'd be willing to. You mentioned there's not necessarily a live stream. We do Pro Business on site. We did the Leader Cast with 7,000 people in Atlanta, 125,000 people around the country. Almost 500,000 downloads. So if we'll talk off air, but if it makes sense, we'd be willing to contribute. And live broadcast.
Sense.
Yeah. Okay. There
That's
it is.
That's another exciting moment.
I heard it. That was not silent. That was publicly announced.
Yeah. And I think
he's
Pam,
on the hook.
And you are as well, youngling.
I'll
have you there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm hook, line, and sinker here.
So to Steve, our intern in the studio, and to Grant and Craig and everybody on Pro Business, a shout out. You guys just booked yourself for the January
event. That is wonderful. See you January 28th.
Yeah. And on a side note, you mentioned a shout out earlier to Derek. Derek also he owes me a new keyboard for the studio because during the shout out and I got all excited, we spilled coffee all over the keyboard. So he's so Derek
he'll be by soon to replace
with
that.
a new
I feel
keyboard.
certain.
Yeah.
I need to get him on the show anyway.
Absolutely, that would be fun.
Yeah. So I love the Zalad. Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Oh yes, the Zalad is sensational.
Sensational, yeah. So I was trying to come up with if you guys did a show in the studio, it would be the food salad show with a Z. I don't know how you say that. But yeah,
the Zalad Zo. Yeah,
so there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, to go with the Z theme here,
Yes.
just to let you know, we all have our little jargon, and obviously this is the Franchise Business Radio
Yes.
show, and I frequently refer to as a franchisor as a zor.
Oh, okay.
And I refer to as a franchisee, like
As a
yourself,
Z.
as a Z. So we got a real Z thing
Wow,
going.
we need all the Z themes. I like
You
it.
can't run out of Z's, right?
No,
not if you're
not-
at Zaxby's. Yeah,
not
yeah.
at all.
You've heard them all, right?
We have the Zappetizer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the delicious appetizers.
Yeah. How about a zoothie?
Well, there's the milk zake.
There should be a zoothie, but a
milkshake.
zoothie. If you did a smoothie, it'd be a zoothie.
It would be.
A zoothie, yeah.
Wow.
I get copyright on that.
You
yeah.
need to send that in to
Yeah.
corporate.
Did you say Zen that in?
Send that in. Oh, Lordy. And for any of you kids that
Oh,
are out
wow.
there on in a spelling bee, don't go
yeah,
by this.
Exactly, yeah. None of this applies, yeah.
None of this applies.
Well, speaking of Franchise Business Radio, let's take just a moment as we wrap up the episode and talk a little bit about the different hats you wear with Franchise Intellect. And
Yes.
people that are tuning in and listening on the podcast and on the episodes, share, Pam, a little bit about your offerings, if you would.
Yeah, Rich, thank you. Thanks for asking. I just got a little bit of backdrop here. Part of the reason why we started Franchise Business Radio was to do exactly this, Charlotte. It's a platform to bring franchise professionals together for the purpose of connecting, educating, and collaborating, not only the franchise community, but the consumers. So that pretty crosses over all of us, right? But my particular consulting practice is Franchise Intellect. And specifically what I do is I get very involved in working with franchisors, really with their recruitment and training and development strategies. Yes. And then I also wear the hat of working with individuals. Like yourself, you discovered Zaxbys through a friend. But the franchise industry is so broad, so vast. There are so many different concepts out there. And depending on what someone is looking for, what area of interest, what industry of interest, what their financial capability is, what their skill set is, what I'm able to do is really come in, talk to them, understand what criteria they're looking for, where their skill set lies, and then hopefully introduce them to a couple business concepts for consideration, so really very much of a business matchmaker. And I do represent a lot of different brands over.
How many? At least more than a few hundred, right?
Yeah, close to 500 plus. And again, the line.
Because you meet with folks that are kind of considering dipping their toe in the franchise world, and it has become kind of daunting or overwhelming, all the different options, right? So you kind of figure out the profile of what fits them in terms of their personality, their lifestyle, their schedule, and then and also a vetting process for the franchisors, so that before they present themselves, you've kind of screened them to a certain extent, right?
Exactly. Done some qualifying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are not in let's use Zaxbys as our example. If there is no territory, you want a Zaxby, but there's no territory available, then you know what? We need to take a look at some other opportunities that would align with the area you're interested in. That's just a simple little example there.
But a very important one.
A very important one. Absolutely.
If you don't want to move.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Charlotte. And then the other side of all of this is it really is a win-win for all parties, right? To your point, what's happening is my services are complementary to the individual, because how I'm compensated is by the franchisor. So it's a win for the individual that is looking for a business, because they are getting guidance, direction in the franchise world and industry, which obviously can be overwhelming. It is a win for the franchisor, because they have someone out there that's actually helping qualify and bringing them that qualified candidate for consideration. Not necessarily it's going to be a bit for consideration whether or not they want to award that franchise to that individual. And then naturally it's a win for me because obviously I am being compensated for my services, and it's a feel good. It's a feel good.
And it's obviously your passion.
Very much so.
And your talent.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, very much.
You've been doing since a small child, right? Yeah.
You've been in the business a long time, right? Is that right?
She always mumbles 20 some odd years. It was 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I have been in the franchise industry for
and
a
you
long,
also
long
do
time.
training as well, right, for other.
I do. That's another. You know what? I think that it's sort of a natural extension. In many ways, when you enjoy coaching and helping others. Training becomes a part of that. However, due to my background, I have more of a formalized training background. So not only is it a level of enjoyment, it's actually I'm able to come in and put structure around it. I like to consider myself an architect in a lot of ways.
Very important. Training is the key to everything, I believe.
Very agreed with you.
Yeah, have you done training at some of the conferences or whatever for Zaxbys? Or do they hold events like that?
They do. They do an excellent job of providing us with training tools and meetings. And one of our stores in Alpharetta is a training facility for other franchisees to come.
Oh, yes.
Before they open their store.
Absolutely.
So we really, and our particular group, have a passion for the training. And developing talent is another one of Zaxby's core values. And we believe strongly in developing everyone from the cook to someone that's cleaning the dining room, which is the most important job because you want it to be beautiful.
Time, yeah.
As my brother says, it's a living, breathing organism. And so we always want it looking fabulous.
Right.
So yes, training goes to everything you do, and then to leadership and developing those individuals to stay with you or go on in life to other skills.
Yes.
We hope that we can do an amazing job at our stores training to develop those people, but also they enjoy their work, and it flows over to the guest.
So it can bring a springboard to their own Zaxby's franchise or business or to other opportunities in life. So at that Alpharetta location, people come from around the country or the region?
Around the country.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? And I really like that as part of a franchisor's training model. And matter of fact, I am working with a franchisor right now, and I'm not going to name names because I'm going to leave that as a teaser for
the
a
next
future
episode.
show.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what we are in the process of really trying to put in place. You know, where they actually there's steps. Obviously, you're going to be going to an actual live store, and you have certain stores like yourself that are selected because you're doing things right, and
that is our goal, and we're
so
all human, and we make
to
mistakes.
you.
Well, thank you. Well, we have an amazing district manager, Eric Morley. Shout out to him, and he has he's just wonderful working with the franchisees and the training specialist from the corporate office from ZFL that comes to work with us. So they give us our support that we need, and then we just need to execute it the best that we can.
It's a training partnership. On a lot of you really kind of have to triangulate, right? So one of the advantages of being in a franchise system is what I call peer exchange. And right, and very often we frequently say it's going into business for yourself, but not by yourself. But it's true. And
you're part of a business community, and we all affect each other.
Exactly, relational society, right? So to have new franchisees to be able to come to the store, learn the day in the life of operations of an actual operating store, huge value.
It's very real.
Very real. The training and the support that's coming down from your corporate office.
It's wonderful. They do an amazing job.
And I'm assuming on that, and now you just got my curiosity. Again, we could talk forever, so I don't want to. But I'm assuming they also provide you with some type of pre-opening, grand opening support.
Absolutely. You have consultants, you have pre-opening specialists that are working with you months and months before you open, before you start construction, during construction.
Yes.
On the weeks before opening, when you do your training with your team members, your managers are already certified and trained. We have online training that they do a great job with. So it's a great deal of support.
Wow.
Quick question about openings, grand openings. What's next on the horizon for you as a franchisee with these locations? Do you have any new stores you can announce, or a new? Can you give away a what do they call it? in
tchotchke?
advance. Yeah, no, in advance, like a scoop, yeah.
Oh, a scoop.
Scoop. Oh, wow.
You mean how would you say that with a Z?
A scoop.
She's just asked Charlotte. She's
It rolls off my tongue.
Yeah,
This is
exactly, yeah.
we opened 2 stores this year in Louisville, which was
those
a
are
lot
the
to
newest
take
ones.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So you pretty much camp out and live there for a while, whatever, yeah.
Every once in a while we have a great partner that lives in Louisville,
yeah.
right, and wonderful managers there as well.
Yeah.
But we will be opening more in Louisville. We have
really?
an agreement with as licensees with corporate to open some more. So I don't have a time frame on it, but I'd just love the ones that are already open to work with them and just have them operating with excellence.
Yep.
Awesome.
Get them humming.
All right. Well, I think this wraps up another episode of the Franchise Business Radio Show. If you would, each of y'all, as a producer engineer here, if you'd let folks know the best way to reach out to you and contact you.
Yeah, Charlotte, I'll let you go first. I mean, if someone wanted to get in touch with you directly, what would be the best way to do that?
Certainly, I'm always excited to talk to somebody about franchising.
Sure.
Obviously, the childhood cancer that we've touched on and really focused on is wonderful as well. So I have a passion for both.
Yes.
They could email me at charlotte.hagler@zaxbys.com, which is CharlotteHagler@ZAXBYS.com.
I'm giggling.
I feel like we should have a chime.
I was going to say, it's like saying the alphabet.
We'll put that on the show notes or whatever, too.
It's like, you need to get a little
I just
jingle.
lost everybody there.
I'm just thinking of this. I mean, we all learned our ABCs, right? We sang the ABCs. I think you should go on Rally Idol 2 and start your own jingle with your own ABCs for your email address.
Pam, I'll let you do that.
A spelling bee there, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Spelling
just put
Z.
that on some kind of area for them to find. Always happy to chat with someone, certainly about franchising with Zaxby's.
And the Rally Foundation, again, their Twitter handle or website, I believe, is just rallyfoundation.org, right?
Correct,
Okay,
rallyfoundation.org. And for Rally Idol 2, and that exciting evening starting Tuesday with the pre-party would be at Rally Idol on Facebook and Twitter. And again, just share that with your community because Rally children go down, they're all over the world, obviously, and all over the country. But Peachtree City even has quite a few people that'll be coming up for the event as well.
Wow.
Tons of families coming from Peachtree City and all over the Atlanta area. Atlanta's so
Well, that
vast.
says something in itself because we all know no one wants to enter into Atlanta traffic unless they really.
No, but think Saturdays aren't so
that's not-
bad.
yeah,
Bad at
exactly,
all.
yeah.
There'll be no
Yes,
traffic.
good
Come on
point.
down.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And so real quick, because I do want to make sure people understand the extension of that site. It's not ourclassic.com. It's www.rallyidol.org. So www.rallyidol.org. And again, Rally Idol 2 is happening on January 28th, which is this month on a Saturday. They are selling tickets to purchase $20 for a single admission, $80 for an entire family pass, which is really wonderful. What a great night, great event, great cause.
And remember the after parties at Pam's house, whatever, yeah.
Oh, right, another thing that we've been volunteered for.
Post party.
Post party, yeah.
We have
Yeah.
created so many new things on the show. I love it.
It's
It's
scary.
sensational.
It is
Yeah, it's
sensational, yeah.
sensational. I love it. And for those that would like to get in touch with me, if you're actually considering franchise business ownership, and if I can be of service to you, I would welcome that. The best way to reach me is Pam@franintellect.com. And I'm going to spell that. I decided to shorten that a little bit to make it a little bit easier. So it's Pam@Fran, F-R-A-N, Intellect, INTELLECT.com. Pam@franintellect.com. And of course, you can always text me, call me, 847-970-8765. Thank you for listening in, tuning in. Thank you to our wonderful guest, Charlotte, and for this
Thank you
great
so
cause.
much for having me.
Absolutely.
It's just been wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you to Rally Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research.
And we're listening to PBC. That's spelled PBC. We'll see you next time.
Thank you again for joining Pam Curie and her guests on the Pro Business Channel. Use the social media links here to share today's show and stay tuned for the next episode of the Franchise Business Radio Show.